Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another unpackaging video. Thanks to Jonathan Lindsey. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Now, I took the movies out of the package so that there wouldn't be any fumbling, wasting of time, but I have not looked at them yet. I can feel that there's 3 of them. He also has a letter that he wants me to read, and I figured that's fine. It's the least I can do. Jonathan Lindsey has been very gracious and very generous, and I really do appreciate that, both in requests as well as sending gifts. Jonathan Lindsey, if you're watching, I sincerely appreciate it, and I sincerely thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, you know what? This will be interesting. You will know before I do what these are. Yeah, I don't know what these are because I haven't looked. I just reached in the hand, took it out. Okay, so you know what these are before I do. One's thick. That's what she said. So... Oh, wow. Thank you so much. First off, we have... This was on my Amazon wish list. The US Blu-ray of The Ambulance. Because I did have someone had sent me a Blu-ray that was overseas, which is very nice. But being a big fan of the film, I did want an American Blu-ray. Plus, this had a new commentary track, and I miss Larry Cohen. This is actually moderated by another director, Steve Mitchell, so it's a different audio commentary track. And like I said, I'm a big fan of the movie. It's my favorite Larry Cohen film, The Ambulance. And actually, which is nice, this has the original VHS cover. But this is how I first saw the film, with this cover. Eric Roberts, James Earl Jones, Janine Turner from Cliffhanger, red buttons. I mean, technically the other cover is better artwork, but again, this is the VHS cover I remember. And that's how I first saw the film, and really enjoyed it, because of Larry Cohen's sense of humor. I love... Sorry about that. I love the idea of the film where this random ambulance will take people supposedly to the hospital. Eric Roberts wants to meet this girl. She falls ill. He follows the ambulance. He wants to check her out in the hospital. You'll see how she's doing. And she's nowhere to be found. She's disappeared. So this ambulance will take people away to a secret area where people are tested on. Tested on for experiments on cures, other human test subjects, and Eric Roberts needs to find out what's going on. James Earl Jones is this weird cop who loves his chewing gum. Red Buttons is an older actor who's helping Eric Roberts out. Also of interest, Eric Roberts plays a comic book artist, and you have a cameo by Stan Lee, because Eric Roberts is working in Stan Lee's studio. And if you're wondering, my neighbor's rooster liked that. Yes, rest in peace, Stan Lee. So Stan Lee does have a cameo in this. But yeah, Larry Cohen, very interesting writer-director, very worthwhile when it comes to writing dialogue, whether it be The Stuff, whether it be To the Winged Serpent. He's famous for the It's Alive trilogy, but I was more into this one, The Stuff, and To the Winged Serpent. Those, I would say, my 3 favorite Larry Cohen films. He also wrote the Maniac Cop movies. He didn't direct those, he wrote them. So The Ambulance, probably my favorite Eric Roberts film. You know, film he got to be the star as a good guy. So thank you so much for that. That was on my Amazon wish list. I appreciate that. He had sent me volume 1 of this, so now he sent me volume 2 of Animaniacs. I did review the first episode. That was a request. Did not mind it. Of course, I can see that's a caricature of Steven Spielberg. E.T. hat and all. With the Warner Brothers and Warner sister. Animaniacs. Very nice. Animaniacs is not a cartoon I grew up with, like I've said. I've seen bits and pieces. I mean, cartoons I grew up with. I mean, back in the day, I only had like three, four channels: ABC, CBS, PBS, and another form of CBS. I don't know why we had two versions of CBS. So I would see like cartoons. The Ninja Turtles is mainly the one I grew up with, the 80s one on CBS. On ABC, there'd be like a lot of these random shows. I think one was the Looney Tunes and Tweety show or something. There'd be shows like Reboot, other stuff. And then other shows I would find because my aunt would send videotapes. That's how I found Scooby-Doo, Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy I would like to give another look. I don't know if there's a DVD set of that because the main creator turned out to be a real fucking scumbag. There's an interesting documentary out there about Ren and Stimpy, and it does detail how much of a fucking scumbag the creator Ren and Stimpy was. So don't know those cartoons on DVD. If so, I would like to give them a look. It's been a while since I've seen them. But Scooby-Doo, among others, Simpsons. But into the third and last one, this is very nice because I have the first movie. I have not seen this one. I don't even know what people's thoughts are on this. Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. Because I do have Scorpion's Revenge. And I'm trying to remember if I have it over there or over here. I'm trying to remember if I have it over... Yep, I have it over right there. I don't want to get it because things will fall. But this has Liu Kang. It is rated R. It does have a commentary like the first one did. My neighbor's rooster's really loving this one. Maybe he saw and he approves of this. When Shao Kahn's outward barbarians terrorize Earthrealm, Lord Raiden is determined to put an end in the carnage once and for all. You know what's funny? For an hour, that fucking rooster didn't do anything. As soon as they turn on this camera, then it decides to not shut up. Raiden's elite fighters Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and a few new faces tip the action to overdrive as they go head-to-head with Outworld's most bloodthirsty warriors. The stakes could not be higher. Shinnok. I mean, it is rated R. I guess Sub-Zero returns based on the cover there. I guess it makes sense. You know, Liu Kang. I would assume Liu Kang is more the star of this, which is cool. Because he did get his ass kicked a bit. But even the first film did say, oh, Liu Kang admitted he failed, and Raiden said, well, this wasn't your time. Now this is his time. So maybe there's like Liu Kang getting his comeback on, his retribution. But, I did like the first one, so I will have to give this a look sometime. Thank you so much for that. Now I'm going to get a drink of water, and he sent this for me to read. 3 pages. And yeah, I figure it's the least I can do, because he was kind enough to send them. Dear Matt, hope you enjoyed these gifts. The new Mortal Kombat anime movie is better than the new live-action film, which I thought the new live-action film was okay at best, but this anime one provides satisfactory, like the last action, for fans of the games. Well, yeah, I haven't even seen it yet, but I can already guess that yes, it's better than the new live-action one. Okay, so he goes over, he's been requesting a lot of the Batman anime series episodes, which I thank him for that. So he goes into each of those. Glad you enjoyed Cape and Cow Conspiracy, Day of the Samurai, Laughing Fish, Cat Scratch Fever, Heart of Steel, and more. Are they now your favorite episodes, or on par with other favorite episodes, like On Let the Wings, the Man Bat one, Two-Face, Last Laugh, the Laughing Gas episode, Grey Ghost, Demon's Quest, Ra's al Ghul and Talia episode, Mad as a Hatter, and Perchance to Dream? Day of the Samurai, yes. Heart of Steel. Of those ones you mentioned, I would say Tape and Cow Conspiracy is low on the list. Laughing Fish, I thought was a lesser Joker episode, but I didn't mind them. But yes, I would put Day of the Samurai and Heart of Steel up there. I would say, of the ones you listed, I don't know what would be a favorite, but of the ones you listed, Day of the Samurai, Heart of Steel, On Leather Wings, Two-Face, Grey Ghost, Mad as a Hatter. Those are up there on favorites. Then he goes into his thoughts on each of the episodes he mentioned. Robin's writing earned that Emmy for its writing in quite a powerful emotional episode that makes you feel for Robin, like Heart of Ice made you feel for Mr. Freeze. You forgot to mention Thomas F. Wilson, who's Biff in Back to the Future, is also the voice of Tony Zuko. I always thought that since I was turning 11, that episode aired on Fox Sunday. As a two-parter, me and my big brother noticed how much he sounds like Biff, and we were right. It did Robin justice more than Batman Forever. Yeah, I can agree with that. When you said with the death of his parents on Getting Away with Stuff in cartoons, you're forgetting MTV's Eon Flux with Liquid TV. I didn't forget because I didn't watch Eon Flux. I didn't have Liquid TV back in the day. Maybe Beavis and Butthead. Maybe saw that on a couple VHS tapes, but I've seen the Eon Flux movie, but I haven't really seen much of the Eon Flux TV show. Simpsons got away with things that regular TV animation could not. Well, Simpsons was much more comedic and much more. Yeah, they were much more comedic than that, though. Lauren Lester is Robin's voice. Caper Cow Conspiracy was a clever episode, and nice to hear Belloc from Indiana Jones as the Russian guy. Wormwood was like Jigsaw and Aspets. Bud Cort did a nice voice as Wormwood, and that twist was something. You complain in Strange Case of Bruce Wayne that Dick Grayson easily disguised his voice to sound like Bruce perfectly, especially in Mission Impossible. You didn't complain on how Batman disguised his voice to sound perfectly like Joe said you're fine with that. It's called suspension of disbelief. Because I didn't think of it, but yes, that would be a complaint I would have mentioned. But because I like the Batman character more than a Robin character, I went along with it even more. That's the thing, if you like the character more, you're able to suspend your disbelief a bit easier. Robin is fine, but I like Batman a lot more as a character, because I've never been a Robin fan. But he did fine in the episodes he was in, the older Robin, not the younger kid Robin that was later on. But yes, I didn't think of it, but I would have complained about that more because, yeah, there's suspension of disbelief and there's don't bullshit a bullshitter. Cat Scratch Fever was a fun sequel to Cat and Claw. Months after the incident. Did you think Professor Milo looks like Mo? No. I always thought, since I first saw the episode on Fox and Punch of the fat guy was basically Curry and Jesse was basically female Larry. Nah, I never thought of that at all. Professor Milo does become a main villain in Moon of the Wolf, and Milo is also a student of Dr. Emil Dorian. When the episode was released a year before Cliffhanger. That moment was awesome with the ice. When Batman felt Catwoman's head saying, you're hot, and she said, now you notice. As I remember, me and my big brother was like, yeah, no shit, she's hot. My brother said that, and I said, indeed. The guy who voiced Daddy has passed away. Well, that's too bad. You thought Strange Case was an above average episode? I'm trying to remember what that was. Yeah, I mean, it was there. It didn't really grab me a whole lot as an episode. Shame that Hugo Strange was only in one episode of the show, but was in the Batman Adventures comics. Episode was in 1992. Batman Forever was in 95. Akiva Goldsmith was a fan of the show and did borrow elements from this episode. He also borrowed stuff from Mad as the Hatter and others. I did like how Joker, Two-Face, and Penguin were together in the episode, and gotta admit, it was funny when Two-Face said, yeah, my face, clown, and Joker said, which one? I kinda liked the episode. Yeah, it's just Hugo Strange just wasn't that interesting of a villain to me, and his plan I thought was heavily flawed, and I thought you get Penguin, Two-Face, and Joker in the same episode, and I just felt it was a waste, considering you got all three of them in the same episode. Okay. Pretty much this is about 5 other episodes. Laughing Fish is another one of my favorite episodes, and a well-written episode that is an adaptation of the classic 70s Batman comic story, but with Harley added in it. That shark ride scene was awesome, you gotta admit. You say you're tired of Detective Bullock and think he's a dick. Later, Bullock changes his tune about Batman, but he's basically Batman's J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah, but if he changes his tune, that's cool. It is kind of the same thing with that character over and over again. And I just don't find him that interesting. Like, J. Jonah Jameson, at least he's funny. And his hatred of Batman, he's a bit humorous. Bullock, I just don't even think is funny or humorous. I just think he's annoying. Heart of Steel is quite a nice sci-fi episode. Kind of like Halloween 3 with the robots and body takeover thing. Superman 3, 2001, Body Snatchers, and Terminator kind of episode. Nice to hear William Sanderson, who I knew from Blade Runner, which I saw a video... Oh, you saw a video at age 9, been one of my favorite movies. His character even looks like the actor, and he did great in it. The voice of Wacko is the voice of Hardiak, and do you think Hardak... Not Hardiak, Hardak. That was my screw-up. Is a much worse DC supercomputer than, say, Superman 3's supercomputer? Worse as in more evil? I guess, because at least they gave him a voice. There's a sequel episode called His Silicon Soul, which is excellent. The episode, If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich, is another favorite episode of mine. Did the Riddler justice more than Batman Forever did. Mockridge looks like 1960s... or a 60s Tony Stark, you gotta admit, with his design. I always thought that for years, as I saw a video in the 80s, some 60s Iron Man cartoons on video I rented from the stores. I love the maze setting, which does something different for Batman and Robin to do, and proved Robin to be useful sometimes, even dealing with Riddler. Do you think Mockridge got trauma after the incident, which shows us the creepy ending to it since he's still out there? Yeah, I mean, that's the point of the ending, is that he was saved, but he's not going to be living a comfortable life from now on. He's going to be nightmares for at least a few years. Joker's Wild is a fun episode. Brian James was the Arkham security guard. I didn't know that. Couldn't tell. I knew it was Perseus from the original Clash of the Titans as the voice of Kaiser, since I saw the episode. Ernie Hudson was wasted only for some lines. Gotta admit, it was hilarious when Joker trolls Ivy, especially the ending when he changed it to Looney Tunes. As Ivy, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter said, we were watching that. That blackjack scene was something, showing his smarts as he knows it's the actual Joker. Yeah, I did like that bit. I would say that's the best bit of the episode, Joker's Wild. Hope you enjoyed Tighter Tighter. I did upload that episode. Uh, One of my favorite episodes, which is sci-fi themed and basically Dr. Moreau, Corner Birds to Fly, Catwoman from Channel 6, which is a Ninja Turtles episode, Selena Kyle being kidnapped by mad scientist turned to a cat girl. Again, I have uploaded the episode review. That was okay. That was alright. I didn't mind it. I'm going to see *Malignant* this weekend in theaters. List something different in the horror genre than another found footage movie, another pointless remake of a classic. Although Child's Play 2019 I actually enjoyed. That was the best since the first three. I agree with that. Another sequel, prequel, reboot to a dead franchise that should stay dead, like Chainsaw Massacre, Elm Street. A Quiet Place 2 and The Conjuring 3 I enjoyed as they earned my money and everyone's money in theaters, as they were hits and they were refreshing as they stayed out of woke SJW virtual signaling politics, provide as deep as entertainment. Nobody I saw in theaters, the film Nobody I saw in theaters, it provided as deep as entertainment. Glad it stayed out of the virtual signaling. I hope John Wick 4 does the same. Yeah, I hope so too. I agree Matrix 4 looks like pandering nonsense. It's going to flop as everyone has had it with SJW virtual signaling nonsense. It ended well with part 3 of The Story Is Over. Glad you enjoyed Animaniacs. Fun show I used to watch afternoons and Sunday mornings as a kid and teen. Signed, Jonathan Lindsey. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate the letter. I appreciate the gifts. And I appreciate the requests. Thank you so much. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.